Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the ISS Horizon, Earth's most advanced space station, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display before her. The rest of her crew hovered in zero gravity around her, a mix of anticipation and disbelief on their faces. "Play it again, AOIR," Sarah commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The A's melodic voice filled the bridge. "Certainly, Captain." A moment later, the alien transmission flickered to life once more. "Greetings, sentients of Earth. We are the Galactic Confederation, a union of spacefaring civilizations spanning this sector of the Milky Way. Your recent achievements in faster-than-light travel have not gone unnoticed. As per our protocols, we extend an invitation to your species to participate in the galactic trials. Should you prove worthy, you may join our ranks among the stars. You have one solar rotation to prepare a delegation. Coordinates for rendezvous will follow. May fortune favor the bold." The message winked out, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the ship's exobiologist, was the first to speak. "It's not a hoax, is it?" Her voice trembled slightly, a mix of fear and excitement. Sarah shook her head. "AOIA has confirmed its authenticity. The signal originated from, well, somewhere out there." She gestured vaguely at the star-studded void beyond the station's reinforced windows. "So, what now?" rumbled Zion Okafor, the hulking chief of security. His dark skin gleamed with a thin sheen of sweat, betraying his nervousness despite his imposing stature. Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "Now, we prepare. AOEO, contact mission control. It's time to assemble Earth's first interstellar delegation." The next 24 hours passed in a whirlwind of activity. World leaders convened in emergency sessions, scientists pored over the alien message for any hidden clues, and social media exploded with theories and speculation. In the end, the decision was made. The IS Horizon, Earth's most advanced vessel capable of FTL travel, would represent humanity in these mysterious galactic trials. Its crew, already a carefully selected group of the planet's finest, would carry the hopes and dreams of billions. As the deadline approached, Sarah stood before her assembled crew in the Horizon's main hangar. 50 pairs of eyes stared back at her, a mosaic of humanity's diversity. "I won't sugarcoat this," Sarah began, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. "We're heading into the unknown. These trials could be anything: physical challenges, intellectual puzzles, or tests we can't even imagine. But remember this: we are the children of Earth. We've survived ice ages and asteroids, plagues and world wars. Our ancestors looked up at the stars and dreamed of this day. Now we're living that dream." She paused, letting her words sink in. "Whatever these aliens throw at us, we'll face it together. With courage, with ingenuity, and with the unbreakable spirit that defines our species. Are you with me?" A resounding cheer filled the hangar, drowning out the hum of the ship's engines. Minutes later, the IS Horizon detached from its orbital moorings. Its sleek hull gleamed in the sunlight as it oriented itself towards the coordinates provided by the Galactic Confederation. Sarah settled into the captain's chair, her fingers dancing over the holographic controls. "AOIA, initiate FTL drive." "FTL drive engaged, Captain," the AI responded. "Brace for transition in 3, the stars outside stretched into brilliant lines, and with a flash of light, the horizon vanished from Earth's orbit, hurtling towards humanity's date with destiny." The journey lasted mere hours, thanks to the horizon's cutting-edge FTL drive. When they emerged from hyperspace, the scene that greeted them left the entire crew speechless. A massive structure floated in the void before them, a gleaming construct of impossible geometries and pulsing energy fields. It dwarfed the horizon, making Earth's pride and joy look like a toy in comparison. "My God," whispered Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's physicist. "The energy readings from that thing, it's like nothing we've ever seen." Before Sarah could respond, a new transmission crackled through the ship's speakers. "Terran vessel, you have arrived at the Galactic hub. Prepare for docking and decontamination procedures. Welcome to the Confederation." As the horizon was gently guided towards an opening in the colossal structure, Sarah couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and trepidation. They had made it this far, but the real challenges were only beginning. The docking process was smoother than any they had experienced on Earth. Once secured, the crew gathered at the airlock, unsure of what to expect. "Remember," Sarah addressed her team one last time, "we're not just representing ourselves or even our countries. We're here for all of humanity. Let's show the galaxy what Earth is made of." With a hiss of equalizing pressure, the airlock doors slid open, revealing a sight that would be forever etched in the annals of human history. A delegation of aliens stood before them, a dizzying array of forms and colors. Some were vaguely humanoid, others defied easy categorization. There were beings of crystal and light, creatures that seemed to shift and flow like living liquid, and entities that hurt the eye to look at directly. At the forefront stood a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin and eyes that sparkled like galaxies. When it spoke, the words seemed to form directly in the humans' minds. "Greetings, children of Earth. I am Zilvax, overseer of the Galactic trials. We have watched your species with great interest. Now you stand at the threshold of a new era for your kind." Sarah stepped forward, her voice clear and strong. "We are honored to be here, Overseer Zilvax. I am Captain Sarah Chen of the IS Horizon, representing the United Nations of Earth." Zilvax's head tilted in what might have been curiosity. "Unite. Nations? Fascinating. Most species at your stage of development are still fractured by internal conflicts." "We have our differences," Sarah admitted, "but we've learned to work together when it matters most." A ripple of what might have been amusement passed through the alien delegation. Zilvax continued, "That attitude will serve you well in the trials ahead. Come, let us proceed to the Grand Conclave. The other candidate species await, and the trials will soon begin." As the human crew followed their alien guides deeper into the Galactic hub, they couldn't help but marvel at the sheer scale and complexity of their surroundings. Gravity shifted subtly as they moved, adjusting to what must have been the comfort levels of myriad species. Holographic displays flickered with information in countless unknown languages, and beings of all descriptions hurried about their business. They emerged into a vast chamber that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The floor was transparent, revealing the star-studded void below, while the ceiling arched impossibly high, decorated with what looked like a real-time map of the galaxy. Gathered in this space were representatives from a dozen other species, each as alien and wondrous as the last. Some regarded the humans with obvious curiosity, others with what might have been disdain. Zilvax's voice resonated through the chamber. "Esteemed delegates of the galaxy, I present to you the representatives of Sol 3, known to its inhabitants as Earth. They, like you, seek to prove their worthiness to join the Galactic Confederation." A murmur rippled through the assembled aliens. Sarah felt the weight of countless alien gazes upon her and her crew. "The Galactic trials," Zilvax continued, "are designed to test the very essence of what makes a species capable of contributing to our shared future among the stars. You will face challenges of body, mind, and spirit. Some of you will triumph. Others will find that you are not yet ready for the responsibilities of Confederation membership." The Overseer's gaze swept the chamber. "But know this, there is no shame in failure. The trials are not just a test, but a chance for growth. Those who do not succeed this time will return to their worlds with new knowledge and the opportunity to try again when they have advanced further." Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. The stakes were impossibly high, not just for her crew, but for all of humanity. Zilvax raised its arms, and the galactic map above shimmered and changed, displaying a complex series of symbols and pathways. The first trial begins at the rise of the nearest star. Rest, prepare, and may fortune favor the worthy. As the alien delegates dispersed, Sarah gathered her crew close. All right, team. We've got a lot to process and not much time. Let's go over everything we've seen and heard. We need to be ready for anything tomorrow. Dr. Tanaka raised her hand tentatively. Captain, I couldn't help but notice. Some of the other species seem to be looking at us rather dismissively. Zane snorted. Yeah, I caught that too. Bet they think we're easy pickings. Sarah's eyes hardened with determination. Then we'll just have to prove them wrong, won't we? We may be new to the galactic stage, but humanity has overcome long odds before. Whatever these trials throw at us, we'll face them head-on. As the team huddled together, discussing strategies and theories about what the trials might entail, none of them could shake the feeling that they stood on the brink of something monumental. Win or lose, nothing would ever be the same for humanity after this. The first light of an alien sun peeked through the translucent walls of their assigned quarters, signaling the dawn of a new era for Earth and its brave representatives. The galactic trials were about to begin, and humanity's future among the stars hung in the balance. The alien sun had barely cleared the horizon when a chime resonated through the human delegation's quarters. Captain Sarah Chen, already awake and reviewing data on her tablet, straightened her uniform and addressed her crew. This is it, people. Whatever comes next, remember, we're here to show the galaxy what humanity is made of. Stay sharp, stay focused, and watch each other's backs. As if on cue, a shimmering portal materialized in the center of the room. Through it, they could see a vast, mist-shrouded arena. Without hesitation, Sarah stepped through, her team following close behind. They emerged onto a platform overlooking a scene that defied easy description. The arena stretched for miles in every direction, filled with obstacles that seemed to shift and change even as they watched. Gravity wells, energy barriers, and structures that hurt the eye to look at directly dotted the landscape. Zilvax's voice echoed across the expanse. Welcome, delegates, to the first of the galactic trials. This challenge will test your physical capabilities, adaptability, and teamwork. Your goal is simple. Reach the beacon at the center of the arena. How you do so is up to you. Be warned. The environment is hostile and ever-changing. What works in one moment may fail in the next. Sarah scanned the assembled alien teams. Some looked confident, others nervous. A group of crystalline beings seemed to be vibrating with anticipation, while a cluster of what looked like sentient gas clouds huddled together, their colors shifting rapidly. The trial begins, now. With that, the platform beneath their feet vanished. The human team plummeted towards the mist-covered ground below. Gravity suits, now, Sarah barked, activating her own. The rest of the team followed suit, their descent slowing to a manageable pace. They touched down on a surface that felt uncomfortably like living tissue. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the physicist, was already scanning their surroundings with a handheld device. Captain, the physics here, they're not constant. It's like the fundamental forces are in flux. Meaning? Sarah pressed, keeping an eye on the shifting landscape around them. Meaning we can't rely on anything behaving the way it should. Gravity, electromagnetism, even time itself might be variable. Zane Okafor, the security chief, hefted what looked like a high-tech crossbow. So much for UAB training. We're back to basics. Sarah nodded grimly. Then we adapt. It's what humans do best. Elena, keep monitoring those fluctuations. Yuki, start analyzing the biology of this place, if you can call it that. Zane, you're on point. The rest of you, stay alert and call out anything unusual. They set off towards what they hoped was the center of the arena. The mist swirled around them, occasionally parting to reveal glimpses of the other competing teams. Some were faring better than others. A group of amorphous beings slid effortlessly across the shifting terrain, while a team of hulking, reptilian aliens struggled against what looked like localized high gravity. As they pressed on, the challenges grew more intense. One moment, they were scaling a cliff face that kept rearranging itself. The next, They were navigating a field of energy bubbles that teleported them to random locations with each touch. Through it all, the human team displayed a resilience that began to draw attention. When faced with a chasm too wide to jump, Dr. Tanaka suggested using their gravity suits to essentially fly across. When a maze of mirrors threatened to separate them, Zane used his helmet's sonar to map a path through. "Look," Elena pointed towards a distant shimmer. "I think that's the beacon." But between them and their goal lay a stretch of terrain that seemed to be constantly phasing in and out of existence. Sarah's mind raced. "Okay, we can't trust the ground, but maybe, Elena, what if we use the gravity suits to create a sort of tunnel through the unstable zone?" The physicist's eyes lit up. "Brilliant. If we calibrate them just right, we could create a bubble of stable spacetime around us." It was a risky plan, but it was all they had. As the other teams struggled to find a way through, the humans linked arms, their suits glowing with power. Step by step, they forged ahead, a bubble of stability in a sea of chaos. Aliens watched in amazement as the humans steadily made their way across the impossible terrain. Some tried to follow, only to be rebuffed by the unstable physics. With a final push, Sarah and her team burst through the other side of the phase field, the beacon now tantalizingly close. But they weren't alone. The crystalline beings had somehow tunneled beneath the chaos, emerging just meters from the goal. It was going to be a sprint to the finish. "Together," Sarah shouted, and as one, the human team surged forward. The crystalline aliens moved with blinding speed, their faceted bodies reflecting the light of the beacon. But the humans, driven by the collective will of their species and the culmination of millennia of evolution on a death world, found reserves of strength they didn't know they possessed. In the final meters, Sarah felt her muscles screaming, her lungs burning. The world narrowed to a single point of light. With a desperate lunge, she threw herself forward, her hand closing around the beacon a split second before the crystalline being reached it. A pulse of energy radiated outward, and suddenly the chaotic arena vanished. They were back in the grand conclave chamber, gasping for breath and leaning on each other for support. The other teens materialized around them, some looking worse for wear, others seemingly unfazed. Zilvax appeared, its iridescent form shimmering with what might have been excitement. Remarkable. In all my cycles overseeing the trials, I have never seen such a performance from a novice species. Humans of Earth, you have not only completed the challenge, but done so with ingenuity and teamwork that put many established spacefaring races to shame. A murmur ran through the assembled aliens. Sarah could see a mix of reactions: respect, disbelief, and in some cases, clear concern. The overseer continued, "You have proven your physical capabilities beyond doubt. But the trials are far from over. The next challenge will test your minds as thoroughly as this one tested your bodies. Rest, recover, and prepare yourselves. The intellectual gauntlet awaits." As the teams dispersed, Sarah gathered her crew close. Despite their exhaustion, there was a fire in their eyes that hadn't been there before. "We did it," Yuki breathed, her voice filled with wonder. "We actually did it." Zane clapped her on the back, nearly knocking the smaller woman over. "Did you ever doubt we would? We're human after all." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. "We've made a statement, that's for sure, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This was just the first trial, and if it's any indication, the next ones will be even tougher." Elena nodded, her scientist's mind already whirring. "We should compile everything we learned about the variable physics in that arena. It could be crucial for understanding what we're up against." "Agree," Sarah said. "But first, we all need to rest and recuperate. Tomorrow, we face the intellectual gauntlet, and we'll need to be at our mental peak." As the team made their way back to their quarters, Sarah couldn't help but notice the changed atmosphere around them. Aliens that had dismissed them earlier now watched them pass with newfound interest. Some even offered gestures that might have been congratulatory. But not all the attention was positive. The crystalline beings they had narrowly beaten glittered with what seemed like barely contained rage. And in the shadows, Sarah caught glimpses of other species huddled in intense discussion, their alien features impossible to read. Back in the privacy of their quarters, the team's euphoria finally bubbled over. There were hugs, tears, and laughter as the reality of their achievement sank in. "Did you see their faces?" Zane chuckled. "Well, the ones that had faces anyway. They didn't think we'd last 5 minutes." Yuki was scrolling through data on her tablet, her eyes wide. The biological diversity in that arena was staggering. "I've already identified at least 30 distinct ecosystems, some of which seem to be evolving in real time." "And the physics," Elena added, her voice filled with academic excitement. "If we could harness even a fraction of that variability, the implications for energy production, space travel, even reality manipulation are endless." Sarah let them celebrate and theorize for a while longer before calling for attention. "All right, team. We've proven we can hold our own physically, but tomorrow's another story. We don't know what kind of mental challenges they'll throw at us, so we need to be prepared for anything." She pulled up a holographic display of the data they gathered. "Let's break into groups. Elena, you and the science team start analyzing the physics we encountered. Yuki, I want you and the bio team to compile everything we saw about alien physiologies and adaptations. Zane, work with security to review our performance and identify areas for improvement." As the team broke into their assigned groups, Sarah found a quiet corner to gather her thoughts. The weight of their situation pressed down on her. They had won a significant victory, yes, but it was only the beginning. The fate of humanity's place in the galactic community still hung in the balance. She thought of Earth, of the billions watching and waiting for news, of the history of her species, the triumphs and tragedies, the relentless push to explore and understand. All of it had led to this moment. A ping from her communicator interrupted her reverie. It was a message from Zilvax. "Captain Chen, your species' performance today was unexpected. You've attracted the attention of many within the Confederation. Some are impressed. Others are concerned. Be vigilant. The trials ahead will test more than your physical and mental capabilities. They will probe the very essence of what it means to be human. Rest well. You will need all your faculties for what comes next." Sarah read the message twice, a chill running down her spine. She looked at her team, still buzzing with excitement and determination. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew humanity would face them head-on. As the alien sun set on their first day of trials, Sarah Chen allowed herself a moment of pride. They had taken their first steps into a larger universe, and they had done so with the indomitable spirit that defined their species. Tomorrow, the intellectual gauntlet awaited, and beyond that, challenges yet unknown. But for now, in this brief respite, Sarah and her team had proven one thing beyond a doubt. Humanity was ready for the stars. The human team stood before a shimmering doorway, tension palpable in the air. Captain Sarah Chen took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenge ahead. "Remember," she addressed her crew, "our strength lies in our diversity of thought. We've faced the impossible before. Let's show them what human ingenuity can do." They stepped through the portal into a vast chamber. The walls were alive with swirling equations and ever-changing schematics. At the center stood Zilvax, flanked by representatives from various alien species. "Welcome to the intellectual gauntlet," the overseer's voice resonated. "Here, you will face problems that have puzzled the greatest minds of the Confederation. You have one planetary rotation to solve as many as you can. Begin." Holographic displays sprung to life around them, each presenting a different challenge. Theoretical physics, xenobiology, multidimensional mathematics, the range was staggering. Sarah quickly organized her team. "Elena, take the physics problems. Yuki, focus on biology. Zane, you've got a knack for patterns. Tackle the mathematical challenges. The rest of you, split up and assist where needed. And remember, think outside the box." As they dove into the problems, it became clear that traditional approaches wouldn't suffice. A question about faster-than-light travel stumped even Elena at first, until a junior engineer suggested applying principles from Earth's quantum entanglement experiments. Yuki found herself collaborating with a group of gaseous aliens on a complex genetic sequencing problem. Their different perspectives led to a breakthrough that had the alien scientists buzzing with excitement. Hours ticked by. The humans worked tirelessly, fueled by a mix of caffeine, adrenaline, and sheer determination. They argued, brainstormed, and occasionally had eureka moments that sent ripples of surprise through the watching aliens. As the deadline approached, Sarah noticed something odd. "Wait," she called out, "these problems, they're interconnected." The team quickly gathered, pooling their insights. What had seemed like discrete challenges were actually parts of a larger puzzle. With minutes to spare, they presented their unified theory to a stunned Zilvax. The overseer's crystalline form shimmered with what might have been amazement. "Extraordinary. You've not only solved individual problems, but identified the metastructure behind them. This is unprecedented for a species at your stage of development." A murmur ran through the alien observers. Some looked impressed, others concerned. The crystalline beings from the previous challenge huddled together, their facets flashing in what seemed like agitated communication. Zilvax continued, "You have proven your intellectual capabilities beyond doubt. But the final trial still awaits, a test of something less tangible, yet perhaps more important than physical prowess or mental acuity." As they left the chamber, Sarah caught snippets of alien conversations. Words like potential, threat, and balance floated in the air. She realized that their success was a double-edged sword. They had proven humanity's worth, but also its potential to upset the galactic status quo. Back in their quarters, the team's celebration was tempered by uncertainty. They had overcome incredible odds, but the final trial loomed large in their minds. What could be more challenging than what they had already faced? Sarah gazed out at the alien stars, feeling the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. Whatever came next, she knew one thing for certain: they would face it together, with the indomitable spirit that had brought them this far. The final test awaited, and with it, humanity's place among the stars hung in the balance. The final trial began without warning. One moment, the human team was in their quarters. The next, they'd found themselves in a vast, shimmering chamber filled with holographic projections of alien worlds. Zilvax's voice echoed around them. "Welcome to the empathy test. Your final challenge is to navigate complex diplomatic scenarios across various cultures. You must resolve conflicts, forge alliances, and demonstrate your ability to understand and cooperate with diverse species." Sarah Chen surveyed her team. "This is what humanity has always done best. Let's show them our capacity for compassion and understanding." They were thrust into a series of intense simulations, mediating a resource dispute between silicon-based lifeforms and energy beings, helping a hive mind species understand the concept of individual rights, negotiating a peace treaty between ancient enemies with incompatible biologies. Each scenario tested not just their problem-solving skills, but their ability to truly comprehend alien perspectives. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's expertise in xenobiology proved invaluable, as did Zion Okafor's unexpected talent for reading non-human body language. As they worked, Sarah noticed something peculiar. The solutions they proposed often drew from Earth's history, lessons learned from past conflicts and resolutions. In a particularly tense moment, when two warring species seemed on the brink of destruction, Sarah took a risk. She shared the story of Earth's own troubled past and how humanity had struggled to overcome its differences. "We're not perfect," she told the holographic aliens, "but we've learned that our diversity, when embraced, is our greatest strength. We've made mistakes, but we've also shown incredible capacity for forgiveness and growth." Her words seemed to resonate across species barriers. Slowly, the simulated conflicts began to resolve. As the final scenario concluded, the chamber fell silent. Then gradually, it filled with a soft, melodious hum. The human team looked around in confusion. Zilvax materialized before them, its crystalline form glowing with an inner light. That sound, it said, is the combined empathic resonance of every species represented in the Galactic Confederation. It is singing in harmony with your actions. The Overseer's next words left them stunned. Humans of Earth, you have not just passed the trials. You have redefined them. Your unique combination of resilience, innovation, and empathy is unlike anything we have encountered. As the implications of Zilvax's words sank in, Sarah felt a mixture of pride and trepidation. They had succeeded beyond their wildest dreams, but what would this mean for humanity's future among the stars? The chamber around them began to shift, preparing for what would be the most important diplomatic meeting in Earth's history. The Galactic Confederation awaited, ready to render its final decision. Humanity stood on the brink of a new era, and Sarah Chen and her team had brought them there. Whatever came next, they had proven one thing beyond doubt: Earth was ready for its place in the cosmic community. The Grand Conclave chamber hummed with anticipation. Representatives from every corner of the galaxy had gathered for this momentous occasion. Captain Sarah Chen and her team stood at the center, their faces a mixture of exhaustion and hope. Zilvax glided forward, its crystalline form refracting the light of 1,000 stars. The chamber fell into a hushed silence. Sentience of the Galactic Confederation, Zilvax's voice resonated. We have witnessed something extraordinary. The humans of Earth have not merely passed our trials, they have illuminated new possibilities for all of us. A murmur rippled through the alien delegates. Their physical resilience, born from an unforgiving world, has shown us the power of adaptation. Their intellectual creativity has solved problems we thought unsolvable, and their capacity for empathy. Zilvax paused, its form shimmering with emotion, has reminded us of the very reason we formed this confederation. The Overseer turned to Sarah and her team. Captain Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I extend not just an invitation, but a plea. Join us, not as junior members, but as full partners. Your species has much to learn, yes, but also much to teach. Sarah stepped forward, her voice clear and strong. We accept, with gratitude and humility. Earth has dreamed of this moment for centuries. We come in peace, eager to contribute and to grow alongside our new galactic neighbors. As she spoke, the chamber's ceiling transformed, revealing the vast expanse of the Milky Way. A small blue dot illuminated near one of the spiral arms. Earth, now officially part of something greater than itself. Zilvax raised its appendages, and a cheer erupted from the assembled aliens, a cacophony of sounds, lights, and empathic projections that overwhelmed human senses. In that moment, Sarah and her team felt the weight of their achievement. They had opened the door not just to the stars, but to a future where humanity would play a crucial role in the grand tapestry of galactic civilization. As the celebration continued around them, Sarah looked at her team, then back at the image of Earth floating in the galactic map. A smile spread across her face. Their trials were over, their journey was just beginning.